Hello and welcome to a new video series by me, James, and yes indeedy. Basically the idea for this is I've been programming for about 4 or 5 years on this technology, and now it's time for me to emerge from my cave. So I thought the best way of doing that was to take you through the process of how I make a game. Now this is for anyone who might be interested in making a game, or when he makes a game and just nosy about how the other people do it. So let's get started. Right, what kind of game we're going to make? I had a few ideas. The first one I think I'm going to try now is a sort of asteroids game. And the first thing I do is I create an image to try and figure out what that might be. This is what I drew. As you can see, these are meant to be asteroids, and this is a rocket. I put Earth in the middle, and it's kind of coming out into the camera. It kind of looked like a game to me. I guess you have to try and dodge these as they go towards Earth. Maybe Earth's in trouble. So from there I just pretend that I finished the game and try and make things look a bit better. So I finished with this. That definitely looks like the game's finished. Escape Earth. We've got a rocket coming from Earth. That seems to make sense to me. So yeah, let's get on with actually trying to make this game. Now, I make this using an engine I created. It's new, so it'll crash all the time. Here it is. This is the studio for the engine. It basically automates how you can make things. Let's make a new project. Escape Earth. Great. Fantastic. Let's see if we've got a game. We've got a black screen. Perfect. We've got a game. Ship it. Alright, let's do a quick few bits of setup. Let's first change the name of the window. Escape Earth. Fantastic. That works. And then also I like to make my studio environment look inspirational as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use those images to theme the studio. Great. Again, it doesn't really do anything yet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take from, on this video, we're going to go from setting up the project to getting something basically rendering. So the next thing I like to do is I like to go straight to doing assets, all art, anything that I might need in order to just get something programmed off the ground. So the first thing I did was to create a ship, and the idea is maybe make the ship move around. I feel like the ship's the main thing really. So yesterday I created this. I've got a very fast laptop. Fantastic. It's a very low poly model. Didn't go through how I made this because there's plenty of things on Blender about that. On YouTube about that, so you just check those things out. Spent quite a long time learning how to do that really. It doesn't seem like it based off that. But what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and take this rocket and render it inside our game. So I've already exported this as a waveform, obj waveform. That's the file type that's used currently in my engine. So if I open the file, this is the file system that the game uses. If I go to data, you see all the files will be organized in these folders. These folders could be any way round actually. It doesn't really matter. The engine will deal with it anyway. So we'll chuck that in models because that makes sense to me. And then it's going to be textured using the diffuse texture, and there's also going to be just a blank normal map. If you don't know what normal maps are, there'll be another video about that at some point. Right, let's put that in images. Great, okay. So they're still not in the game. Let's bring this up. This is the base environment. It's again split very much the same as the folders, just to try and make things easier. We've got audio, images are here. There's a few images in here already. These are the environment maps. So if you make anything shiny at the moment, it uses this default environment map that can be changed as well. And then a light. This is a sunlight. It's basically ambient light. A default scene, which is currently being rendered at the moment. It's actually blank. Script we'll get to, state we'll get to as well. Fonts are fonts, and blocks aren't for this video. Okay, so let's add the model. All we do is right click, add model, obj, and give it a name. We're going to call it ship mesh. Great, ship mesh, save. Now if you double click ship mesh, it comes up with all the properties of ship mesh. So you've got your model file, positions, rotations, scales, material ID is an optional one, diffuse and normal maps, and the shaders, which will be used. Forward pass tells it if it's going to be used instead of using the normal pipeline, which is a deferred rendering pipeline. So we're just going to find the files we just saved. So there we go, ship, and the texture. I haven't done the texture yet. I'm going to do it a different way. Save that. We're going to add an image to get the two textures in. Add image TGA. So we're going to go ship and diffuse. Double click that. Find our diffuse image. Ship diffuse. You can see it viewed here. The UVs are unwrapped, and so that's why it's looking quite a funky image. Save that. And then we also have to do the same thing for our normal map. But this is just a blank normal map. And we'll probably use it for something else as well, so we'll just call it blank normal. And again, we'll load that in. Great. Now, go back to the model, and we'll just associate those. Ship diffuse and normal map. Great. Okay. So this video is sponsored by me. If you're interested in how an indie developer lives, how I've managed to spend 4 years trying to learn how to do this with no funding at all, you can actually head on over to our YouTube page, which is Live Life in a Box, youtube.com/Live Life in a Box, and you'll see our kind of daily life. It's me and my girlfriend Sarah, who's here as well.
Hello.
We're actually in Cambodia at the moment. That's pretty cool. Just annoying people on the beach doing one of these videos. So anyway, back to it. Let's get back to it. So now we have a ship mesh, and we're going to put that into the engine. So if we press run at the moment, what we see is still just a blank screen. Now that's because although we have the model, it's not part of the scene. This is the scene, and easily you're done. Just double click scene and add the ship mesh. Okay, apply, close, save. Now this is now rendering the ship. It doesn't look like it, and that's because the camera is inside the mesh. The mesh is currently located at position 000, as you can see there. And if you go to state and game window, you can see the camera is also positioned at 000. Now you can edit this while the game's running to make it kind of easy to work. It's very dull because the ambient light is low down, but you can just about see, well, I can just about see in the sunlight there's a ship in the middle of there. If I just apply that, close and then save, and then we can also maybe turn the light up a little bit so I can see. Exactly the same as before. You can edit this all while the game is running. It's very easy for setting things up. Set these to 0.5 for no real reason at all. I could have set them to 1. Great, we have a ship. Save that. Same as before, the ship details, they can all be modified at runtime, so you can choose any of these properties, or most of these properties. Some are baked, but we'll get into that in another video. And if I just scroll that, you'll see it starts to rotate. Now just rotating across the y-axis. Fantastic. And we'll close this, and we'll close this, and we'll close this, and because I didn't save that, it won't be rotated when I rerun it. So there's the beginning of a game. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy this game. I'm going to make it available already. And the way I'm going to do that is all built in. I'm going to do it through itch. And if I just click deploy, and then press this button here, it will deploy to itch. Now, I'm not going to do that right now because I haven't got internet, but if you're interested in this, follow me, subscribe, share. That would work really well because I'm very new, and let me know what you think in the comments. If you've got any questions, this is going to be I think about 10-part series of making this prototype, and I'm going to take you through absolutely every part of it. Thanks for watching.